I didn't feel any impact. It was just this massive jerk forward.
Describe that for us one more time, because we just got here. So you're sitting on the train and kind of walk us through the moments before and leading up and then after this.
So the train had come to a stop, and all of a sudden it jerked forward really quickly. People were thrown on the floor. I hit my head a little bit, but not badly. And at first we didn't know what would happen. I didn't know that we had been hit until I was walking back and saw that the whole back of the weird car had been
So you were in the front train.
I was in the front train.
Do you mind pointing to us, like, which car you were on?
So I was in the one very, very front, yeah.
And then describe the injuries to the others who were on your train.
Yeah, so I think the worst that I saw, at least in my section of the train, there was a girl who was thrown on the floor, and I think she dislocated her shoulder. I mean, she was pretty bad. That was the reason I think that people started calling 911, because she was crying. Everyone else seemed jostled, but I don't know how injured they were. She was visibly injured.
And your train was your train was stopped?
We were stopped, I think, at the light that carried down this way, and then it was just a jerk forward.
And the driver's reaction, what did the driver do or say?
So I saw the driver get out the front door, and then she walked back, I think, to check something behind the train or check with the other driver in the second car. And then she came back, and as she was walking back, she opened our door from the outside and asked us to get off of the train and wait on the platform, and said that the EMTs would be coming. And then it was about 2 or 3 minutes. BUPD, I think, was first.
How many people were on the train?
In my car, I think it was about 15 to 20. It wasn't crowded. I think most people were sitting.
And you could see through to the other car, right?
Yeah, we could see through to the front of my car.
When you see now just, what your car looks like and realizing what happened in that moment, how are you feeling?
Lucky, personally, but I hope that everyone else who was injured is okay, and that there weren't any more serious injuries.
Thank you so much. Can you do us a favor, say and spell your first and last name?
Sure. Brian Sirman, Brian. Sirman is Sirman.
And you're visiting from Nashville?
Visiting from Nashville.
Hopefully you can go on your date now.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Well, enjoy the rest of your time here.
All right, so there you heard just from a witness who was on the train when it collided, talking about his experience, talking about how he was shaken up, that he saw a girl thrown to the floor, possibly with a shoulder dislocation. And there we have aerial pictures now in Boston at this hour. It's almost 7 p.m. on the dot on this Friday night. 2 trains on the Green Line collided. Multiple people injured. So there we heard from one of the people who were on the train itself when this happened. You can see there the mangled front of the train. This is from the air, obviously, but a great vantage point to just see how this might have happened. We don't have any information yet on what may have caused this, but we do know multiple people were injured on these 2 trains that collided. We do have another ground shot as well. I'm going to put that up here. You can see police tape up. We just heard from that witness. Definitely something he didn't expect coming home from work on this Friday night. He was shaken up. He saw some people thrown to the ground by the force of the collision. We're working on getting more detailed information on how many people might have been injured in this. At the moment, there are some reports out there that could be more than 20 people. But on the scene, people are being evaluated for injuries after these 2 MBTA trains collided. This is, if you're familiar with Boston, near Babcock Street. This is all coming to us from Boston fire officials and officials at the MBTA. So obviously these trains are incapacitated at the moment. They cannot move, and so shuttle buses are replacing those trains. This is on the Green Line. The crash was originally announced around 6:15 this Friday afternoon, and so we're now about 45 minutes later. We have these two live pictures, and you can see there reporters on the scene interviewing witnesses, some officials there on the scene as well. We don't see any patients being treated on the scene.